Good morning. Good morning. And a good morning it is. Always a good morning after a Sacramento Kings victory. Ha ha. Take that, Russell Westbrook. Take that.
Russell Westbrook? More like Russell Westbrook.
Because we broke him off?
Yeah.
Loss? What did I say? Does that have a different meaning?
Russ L. Westbrook.
Ah.
Hey, it makes sense that his name has two L's in it because that's what the Kings have given him this year.
That's what I would say.
Yeah, got him.
Was that really? Oh. Huh. Hey, I got to plug in my stuff here.
Atta babe.
Been here 7 hours, but I got to plug in my stuff here. Welcome into the show. Hi. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. It's The Drive, and we're in good moods today. It's a holiday week.
It feels like today should be tomorrow.
Well, here's the thing people need to understand. You need to understand. For a lot of stuff going on. Number one, I'm in a funky mood because today's like really the first day I feel good. Like I feel today that I am like yesterday. I wasn't a game time decision, but I was like day to day. It would be day to day. Like definitely going to play tonight, but maybe on a minutes restriction yesterday. But we can't have minutes restrictions on this show. Today's the day where I'm like, I'm fully back. I feel good. I coughed this morning for the first time and didn't feel like my chest was going to fall off because my muscles were all jacked up from puking all weekend. Like I feel really good. So that's number one. Number two, the Kings won. That's always a good day. Number three, today is really the Friday for this show for sports. Tomorrow we're going to hit sports a little bit, but we're going to goof off. Like, goof off more than normal.
We're going to actively seek to goof off. Usually we have a rundown that's like, hey, look at all this sports stuff we're going to talk about, and then it gets derailed here and there. We're just purposely just derailing the show early.
Gonna goof off, man. We're just going to goof off, man. And like normally, like you said, it's sports with some goof. Tomorrow's going to be goof with some sports. I might do something like this. So I was
Thanksgiving takes.
While the Kings game was on last night, Kyle. This is what I was doing. Let me see if I can.
Oh no, is this the thing you were talking about before the show?
Yeah, let me see if I can work this out. Nope, sorry. See, I told you I want to make a mix. Let me get it going here. I gotta feel the beat, Kyle.
Yeah.
There's one. There's Doug. Okay. Let me turn this up. Not happy with the volume. There we go.
Turn my headphones up.
Turn my headphones up.
Trucky ducky quack quack.
See, that's not as loud as I want it to be. But I want to make a mix. Let's see. I made a whole. It's different through our headphones, but I wanted to make a KHTK mix.
Trucky ducky quack quack. Trucky ducky quack quack. Trucky ducky quack quack. Trucky ducky quack quack. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Trucky ducky quack quack. Trucky ducky quack quack. Trucky ducky quack quack.
I feel like this is something that should be out there.
Trucky ducky quack quack. Trucky ducky quack quack.
See, I feel like we could put something like that together, Kyle. and release it as a charity album.
Why was that so funny?
Because it's the I told you before the show, it's the dumbest thing I'm ever going to do on the radio. And that's saying a lot in a long career of dumb things. The problem was I was in the man cave last night watching the games, the Kings game, the Chiefs.
We get
game
it.
on.
You have multiple TVs.
I do. And I was working on the show, and I didn't have my headphones in, and my wife peeks in and was watching me a lot longer than she should have as I'm going through different beats. And I sat there for like 5 minutes just DJing the whole thing. Working which ones could I work? I had to find a beat that matched Jason's Trucky Ducky Quack Quack. Because I really wanted to do some form of
Trucky Ducky Quack Quack.
mix. My favorite part of doing that, though, is the people that, like, tuned in.
Doug Christie has guys. Doug Christie has guys. Doug Christie has guys.
Is the people that stepped in. Oh, yeah, I got you, dude. And I even worked out, like, I have a whole row where I could get.
Or maybe even
I can get all of our sounders in.
I think that's the name of this eventual album. Is maybe even February.
Maybe even February.
Trucky Ducky Quack Quack.
From the 916, where can I find that track on iTunes? Yeah, it's coming. Don't worry about it. We have to mix it. That was live, by the way. That was live. That was not
Dave doing that on air.
That was not pre-mixed. That was me. If you were watching the video stream, you were watching me mix it on my computer live. From the 916, that slaps. Yeah, it does.
Don't bring anyone mother into this.
How funny would it be?
Trucky Ducky Quack Quack.
Can we just say in like a silly alternate world, Kyle? How funny would it be if we did put together that mix and somebody like got it and put it on YouTube and it ended up being inadvertently the next Baby Shark? Just 77 million hits to Trucky Ducky Quack Quack.
Oh, is that the new maybe even February?
We just do a whole techno album based on sounders we play. From the 916, from the 530. Here we go. That intro almost made me instantly turn you guys off. For all that is holy, please no more. That's the type of reviews we need on iTunes.
Exactly. 1 star.
Right? That's actually the name of the band.
1 star.
1 star with maybe even February. Dropping holidays 2018. So we're going to be silly. We're going to be silly a little bit today. This is our silly segment. This is a segment that we're silly in. Anyways, we'll be very silly tomorrow. We'll be doing fun things like we talked yesterday. Kyle and I did. We're not doing like what are we thankful for in sports. That's just one of the most. It's still a fun segment, and we could do it, and people would have stuff to be thankful about, and we get a lot of phone calls, but it's just so overplayed. Every single sport. What are you thankful for? I'm thankful for the yellow line, the first down marker. I'm thankful for the Kings being 9-8. I'm thankful for De'Aaron Fox.
It's like if this is a national show where we might get a bunch of different things to go off of, but people in this area typically like the same like 4 or 5 teams. And the same 4 or 5 things.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm. Is De'Aaron Fox on the Mount D more of Kings players? With DeMarcus Cousins, De'Aaron Fox. Are there more? Am I forgetting? Are there actually even 2 more?
Anthony Tolliver.
Christie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Vlad
Divac. From the 916, this is the best segment of the day. The other day when Damien was on, he just started talking football right away. It was horrible. Kyle and I talked about that yesterday, too. Anytime I'm gone, I always ask Kyle, what did you like about the show while I was gone? What worked? What was good? It was a real conversation we had, by the way.
I think that's the realest off-air conversation we've ever had.
Yeah, everything's a learning experience. You're never too old to learn. And yeah, Damien got right to it at 6 a.m. like a professional show. I can't do that. Never do that. I'm sorry. What I can do, though, is tell you Sam Amick's coming up at 8:35. We're going to talk a lot of Kings, and we have Morning Brew next. Eunice is in the back. Kyle Madsen's right there. I'm Carmichael Dave. Lock in, tune in. It's The Drive. Sports 1140 KHTK.
Paul George breaks down the defense, shovels in the paint. Adams there the whole time, but it's broken up by the Kings. Shumpert with a steal. Healed for a transition three. No good. Schultz battles, gets the rebound, but he had a notion to shoot it again. Goes cross court to Fox. Whirls, spins, wrap around inside. What a pass for the setup and a layup. Scored by Marvin Bagley. We haven't seen Kings fans showing this type of exultation in a long time.
Something about the Oklahoma City Thunder, and not just this year. The Sacramento Kings franchise has done, even when they've not been good, they seemingly play Oklahoma City well more often than they don't. And once again last night, OKC had won 10 of 11. 10 of 11. And they had Russell Westbrook back, who was a surprise addition. The reports were all that he wasn't going to play, and he wasn't going to play. I think it was a last-minute thing. He had twins, went home for that, then flew back, started, played, had 29, 13, and 7. The Kings absolutely came out bonkers in the first quarter. Iman Shumpert threw halfway through the first was on pace for over 100 points. Mm-hmm. The Kings couldn't miss, and they had a really bad third quarter. It turned into a close game, partially because Russell Westbrook, although he was 4 of 10 from behind the arc, had some just insane shots.
I think he started 1 of 7 from behind the arc.
Yeah. Here's what I like. We'll get into a lot of this today, and the drama surrounding this. We also haven't been on since Sam dropped his article yesterday, because Sam can't ever drop an article while we're on the air.
Of course not.
He'll come on today at 8:35. Here's my favorite part about this game, other than the message. Dave Yeager slept a lot better last night than he did the night before, and I'm a fan of that. De'Aaron Fox was 1 of 10 with 6 points and a +0 as a starter in 35 minutes. And the Kings beat the Thunder, who in most power rankings were a top 5, top 6 team going into last night. This was a must-win considering what's on the rest of their schedule for November. And we've said it before, Kyle, if they can just get through November and be plus or minus a game or two of 500, now all of a sudden 40-ish wins, 38, 42, that's not out of the ballpark provided they're healthy.
Yeah, because if they can prove that they can hang with the teams in this stretch, the Jazz and the Warriors and who else is in there? There's another team in there, isn't there? The Clippers.
Jazz,
Warriors,
Warriors,
wrap up
Clippers.
With the Clippers.
Yep.
If they show like, hey, if they hang with those teams, there's no reason to believe they can't do that the rest of the season. And if they're hanging with the best teams and going 500 or a little below 500 against playoff teams and beating non-playoff teams, yeah, that's 40-plus wins.
More on this in about 9 minutes. Number 2.
First down and 10 from the Kansas City 40. He fires, right sideline. Gerald Everett, caught him in the shoulder, at the 10.
Tiptoes the sideline. Touchdown, LA! With 1:49 to go, a 40-yard strike from Goff to Everett, and the Rams are back on the high side.
I don't like day after hyperbole. I don't like it in sports. That's what we do. But I think the question you can ask today is, was last night the most entertaining game in football history? You can ask it.
It's the most, I don't know because I have not seen all the games in football history.
I imagine that.
But it was the most fun I've had watching a football game that isn't a 49er game in a really, really long time.
It wasn't a game involving either of our teams. It wasn't a Super Bowl. It wasn't even a playoff game, although it felt like it. These were 2 9-1 teams. This wasn't 2 random teams. These were 2 9-1 teams. 2 teams tied for the best record in football, going against each other in a game that had been hyped since week 3.
Yeah.
And it to me, it went beyond the hype. It didn't live up to it. It
was the
took it to a
third
different
highest scoring game of all time. It was the first game ever that both teams scored 50 points.
We have a lot of stats for you on this. There were a lot of firsts last night. I'll tell you this much. Vegas took a bath on that over. It was
what did I say yesterday? Like, give me the over on 80?
Yeah, and it was 64, 65, something like that, which was still huge.
So it was 63.5, highest over-under ever, and they surpassed it with 17 minutes to go in the game.
105 points combined, and out of those 105 points, this game was decided by a field goal. Abso-freaking-lutely amazing. Much more on that at 6:45. Number 3.
Shot clock is off. Wall and Beal have had the last 9 for the Wizards. Wizards down by 2. Wall, foul line drives to the basket. Bank and score! As he got the restricted arc, untouched, we're tied at 55.
We talked about this at the very, very end of the show yesterday. But there's trouble in Washington, D.C. Apparently, they're open to overtures to the thought of the possibility of perhaps trading some players.
They're signaling that they're open to
they're signaling. Was that like, hey? But there's more that came out of this. John Wall getting fined for saying a bad word to Scotty Brooks. Players getting into it with each other. There's all kinds of sports beef going on in Washington. I haven't seen this type of beef amongst Wizards since Hogwarts. I tweeted that yesterday.
Oh, snap.
Thank you.
Really good.
Here's why we're going to...
Hey, is it Grindelwald?
Because Ernie... We'll do more on this later because it could affect your Sacramento Kings. Vlade Divac is going to have to make a very important decision here very quickly. Vlade will, as the head of the front office.
As the general manager.
As the general manager, I want to stress that Vlade Divac is going to have to make a decision here very quickly. We'll talk about that, but your Sacramento Kings are victorious last night. We'll get to that next right here on
big Vlade house.
Sports 1140 KHTK.
This is Kyle Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. The Kings got back in the win column last night with a 117-113 victory over the Oklahoma City Thunder. Buddy Hield led the way for the Kings with 25 points. He was 5 of 10 from three-point range. Marvin Bagley had a good game off the bench with 15 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 blocks. The Kings are off tonight as they travel to Utah to take on the Jazz tomorrow. Monday Night Football was a wild one last night. The Rams beat the Chiefs 54-51. It was the highest scoring Monday night game in history and the third highest scoring NFL game of all time. It was also the first time that both teams in an NFL game scored 50-plus points. And the trade market is picking up in Major League Baseball. The Mariners shipped starting left-handed pitcher James Paxton to the Yankees in exchange for New York's top pitching prospect Justice Sheffield and 2 other prospects. It's 6:30, time to visit MaidaChevy.com and see who's made a great deal at Maida.
Here we go. The drive continues now.
Sam Amick will join us in 2 hours, 8:35. For those of you listening on the text line, or on the computer, the stream, the app, at 7:35, you can start calling in. In that segment, we're going to have Kings tickets for you. But we're going to start a series of games we have with a few of our Kings players, and we got this a while back. It's how well do you know your Sacramento Kings? And we asked a group of Kings players before the season started some questions about themselves. What's your favorite actor, actress? What's your favorite musician of all time? Cartoon you watched? Dumb stuff. Is a hot dog a sandwich? You're going to have an opportunity. These will be multiple choice questions to answer those correctly. And if you do, you could win Kings tickets. We'll have those for you, and we'll do that in the 7:35 segment. So if you're, I always want to give the streamers an opportunity to start calling at 339-1140 at 7:35. Today's subject, by the way, Marvin Bagley, who had a great night last night for the Kings. It's so weird, too, because with all the drama happening, Bagley goes in. And, of course, everybody in the back of their head's like, well, would he have normally gone in here? I mean, is this like a thing? Did he play well last night because of everything? It's just, it'll take a second to get over. He played 26 minutes last night.
Take the 15 and 13 and 3 blocks and be happy.
Be happy. 6 of
Hey,
11.
About those Kings tickets, the Kings are taking on Utah at Golden One Center on November 25th. That's what the pair of tickets we're giving away is for.
Yeah.
2 pairs of tickets, actually.
2 per.
Get more info at khtk.com. All KHTK giveaways are powered by Roseville Automotive.
So we're giving away 2 pair today?
2 per.
2 per to 2 different people.
Right.
Not 2 pair to 1 person.
Right.
We're
Starting at
breaking it up.
7:35.
Great game last night, and we'll get into it heavy at 7:30. The Kings came out and just absolutely were on fire.
Here comes Westbrook right back, going to the rim. Twister, missed this one, grabbed by Heel. Kings push, 5-on-4. Buddy into the paint. Buddy goes with the right hand. Buddy on the window, and Buddy with a bucket. 14-2 start for Sacramento. Heel doing it all that time on an end-to-end transition push.
They kept going. Iman Shumpert, Grant said it last night. I saw it on Twitter, too. The coach should just tell Iman Shumpert they're playing the Thunder every single night. For some reason, he seems to always have good games against them, and he didn't stop yesterday.
Front rim and short. Rebound claimed by Willie Cauley-Stein. Good job against Adams. Lead pass to Fox. Throws it cross court to Bogey. Gives to Shumpert. Trying again. He's fouled. He's got the triple. 4-point opportunity coming up here for Iman Shumpert. That's your Petkus brothers moments of the game.
Thank you, G-Man. The Petkus brothers moment of the game. Get the spectacular backyard you've always wanted with a beautiful Petkus brothers patio or sunroom. Best price, best value, guaranteed every day. Hey, Mom, what's that? It's Petkus brothers. Yes, that's right. The Thunder would roar back. Steven Adams tied it up.
Westbrook, three-point range, left wing. Looking inside and finds Adams. Adams against Giles on isolation. He'll dig him back and try to school the rookie. Gets him into the paint, spins to the left, gets an easy score. And this game is tied for the first time. We're even at 75 apiece.
It was a passing last night that really, really got the Kings out front. On 45 made baskets, they had 29 assists. Here was one of them from Buddy Hield.
Willie now working on a mismatch against Westbrook. Feeds the far corner to Buddy Hield. Dumps it inside, uncovered. Turn around, 2 hands, was Marvin Bagley. Boy, you talk about terrific execution and spreading the floor and making the cut at the precise moment it was needed. That's a big hoop right there for Bagley and the Kings.
Russ Westbrook's a former MVP. He would not go away.
10 on the clock for George. Picks up his dribble just above the free throw line. Skips it cross court, right wing, Westbrook. Launches without putting it on the floor and buries the triple. Russell Westbrook. He was only 2 for 20 in the 7 games he played this season from downtown. He's got a couple of them tonight.
It was 98-96 Sacramento, and then Buddy Hield heated up.
To Cauley-Stein, left elbow jumper, heel of the rim and out. Cauley-Stein chases, goes to the corner. Hield's wide open for 3. He's got the triple.
That's not all. Buddy Hield next time down the floor.
Fox, who's had a tough night in terms of scoring, throws a bullet cross court. Here's Hield again. Rattle settles for 3. So many times when they rattle, they jump out, but this one rattled and settled. Kings now have a 9-point advantage, 107-98.
De'Aaron Fox last night was 1 of 10 with just 6 points, but he picked a great time to get the 1 of his 10.
Fox drives, he scoots, he scores his first field goal of the night. He's now 1 for 9 from the floor. He has a quiet 4 points. It's 109-101.
Kings wrap it up. De'Aaron Fox, 1 of his 13 assists to Marvin Bagley.
Paul George breaks down the defense, shovels in the paint. Adams there the whole time, but it's broken up by the Kings. Shumpert with a steal. Hield for a transition 3. No good. Shump battles. Gets the rebound. But he had a notion to shoot it again. Goes cross court to Fox. Whirls, spins, wrap around inside. What a pass for the setup and a layup. Scored by Marvin Bagley. We haven't seen Kings fans showing this type of exultation in a long time.
117-113, your final. And that was a fun game last night. Of course, you want a giant blowout, but my goodness, this is a good Oklahoma City team that was playing full force. You had everything. You had runs. You had three-pointers. You had a little kerfuffle between Willie Cauley-Stein and Russell Westbrook with Steven Adams stepping in like the big tree stump that he is. You had De'Aaron Fox picking up, I think, his second technical of his career for John back and forth with Russell Westbrook, and you love seeing the kid not backing down, but weighing over the whole thing was the pregame signage and the ovation for Coach David Yeager, who'd had a rough couple of days. We'll get into that more strong at 7 and 7:35. He spoke for a bit after the game.
It's a good win. In the midst of a very difficult schedule, to get a win and snap a small losing streak or a 5-game set or whatever you want to say. We beat a very, very good team, very talented, very experienced, playoff experience, and well coached. So I'm proud of our guys for coming out and playing as hard as they did, but we were a hard-playing team. And that's what our reputation is going around the league as. I thought in the first half we played maybe as fast as we've played since at Miami. And we'd like to play that fast, but we got tired. I think they got a little tired. Both teams settled for jumpers at points in the third quarter, and we over-dribbled a little bit, kind of lost the rhythm of the game. But we kept at it, kept battling. It was about turnovers and offensive rebounds allowed. Tonight we did a nice job in that. We had 5 turnovers the second half. Took care of the ball, and Buddy gets a couple of shots, but everybody who played, I thought, had an impact on the game at some point. Frank came in, got to the rim a couple times, played D, and started their offense at half court. So I also shared that we shouldn't have to take a loss to learn things in close games and situations, right? So that's the teaching point with a young team. I love our team. We get along great. We've got their attention. They're playing hard. They like each other. And so this is a very gratifying win.
De'Aaron, to not score the way he did, but still be able to be effective, move the ball, and even some of the defense, even in that type of game. What did you like about what he was able to accomplish?
Well, he's a gamer. He loves the big moments. He did a great job. He steps up. He probably should have pulled the ball out, right? So he's ticked about that. He's upset, and it carries over into a technical and this and that. And he steps up and knocks 2 free throws in to make it a 4-point win. So that's big. When on a night that I thought we missed a lot of free throws to begin with, but I'm really, really proud of these guys. I thought in situations where there's drama, your veterans are the guys you hold on to. And Iman Shumpert came out and set down a tone that was very physical and aggressive and knocking in some shots. And he was very good on Paul George. Just made him work for stuff, and that was super.
With all the exterior noise, how good does it feel for you to get this win?
It's good to, in this stretch, to especially to get it at home. We really care about our fans. We've got great fans. I love it here. I listening to the ovation tonight was really cool, and to get the win over a very, very good team tonight is really gratifying.
Well done, Coach Yeager. Swoop. That's a little, as you said in my ear, Kyle. Nice little sidestep on that question. Yeah, it was great.
It's all the outside noise. Yeah, this stretch of games is really tough.
9-8 are your Sacramento Kings. They start a 1-game streak, and now it's on the road. Which seems like they've not been home for more than like an hour all year long.
It feels like it's like 3-4 game road trip, 1 game at home.
This was such an important win. Because they had won 1 of their last 6. They were 1-5. Excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong thing. They had lost 3 of 4 going into last night, and then as you said, with the Jazz coming up, it's going to get nothing but a lot more tough the rest of this month, and we'll get into that more at 7 a.m. when we come back. Man, one of the greatest football games ever played last night, Monday Night Football, Chiefs and Rams. We have a lot to unpack from that. It's The Drive, Sports 1140 KHTK. So if you didn't hear any of that Dave Yeager audio, that means you're probably not a real Kings fan, and I'm sorry for you.
That's actually a test. Like if you heard, it's like a dog whistle. If you heard the audio, you're a real Kings fan. But if you didn't, if there was no audio there,
move
then
on, Laker fan.
Pick a different team, I guess.
It's the wrong station for you. Our apologies when we'll explain this. I want to get into the Chiefs and Rams here. I want to spend the whole segment on this, and I don't want to bore you with technical stuff. But when we went to break, the text line started blowing up, and we're on a bit of a delay here. But the text line started blowing up with people saying that they didn't hear anything from the Dave Yeager audio, which is weird because we heard it in our ears, and we played other highlights from the game out of the same little highlight package. Mm-hmm. But people on the app apparently heard Yeager. So what Kyle has deduced is that the Jaeger audio was recorded off the TV in one channel. If you were listening on AM, one channel, it was on the wrong channel to come through your speakers. But if you were on the app, there you go. You got it. So our apologies. Just to recap, Jaeger was very happy with the performance last night.
And he sidestepped questions about the outside noise.
He was very happy with the performance. I don't want to take the chance of playing the audio again for everybody listening that didn't get it. But our apologies. We had no idea. It sounded fine. We heard it in our ears. We saw it in our monitors. Everything was fine here. We really had no way of knowing that. But for those, what I want to know is, what did people hear for 4 minutes?
It's 2 minutes and 29 seconds.
Yeah, was it me, like, just because my mic was on? Was it me just breathe? I don't think I was eating anything.
Thank goodness.
Well, let's try this. I imagine everybody will be able to hear Pat Mahomes passing to Travis Kelce.
Midway through the third quarter, the Chiefs trail 30-23. Mahomes, belt-high snap, looking right, turns left, goes middle, caught Kelce, touchdown! Kansas City just blows by Nickel Roby, and the Chiefs cash in again.
Well, the Chiefs cashed in again. By the way, I'm picking it up at 30-30. Because otherwise,
there's already been 30 points scored.
60,
apiece.
a piece. If we played all the highlights, we'd be done at about 8:05. It was back and forth. Who said, by the way, there was no defense, Kyle?
40-37 Rams, back to throw, Goff under pressure, he's hit, he's sacked, it's pulled away, it's going to be a touchdown, defensive touchdown, Kansas City, as the Hulk, Alan Bailey just pried the ball from the grip of Jared Goff, and now the Chiefs get a defensive touchdown and take the lead.
Chiefs get a defensive touchdown.
I like that he completely changes the way he's talking to get his Kansas City out.
Yeah. I like calls like that. I think it's a good call, but he does have to kind of adjust the pace.
Oh, big time.
You have to adjust the pace. Who said there was no defense?
Throw flat-footed, it's picked, right side, Samson Ebukam, the 10, the 5, Ebukam runs over Mahomes for his second defensive touchdown of the night.
How about
here's how that game went for the Rams defensively.
Uh-huh.
They gave up 51 points and still scored 19 fantasy points.
Yeah, and
that's
I
insane.
I had the Chiefs defense in one of my leagues, and I ended up picking up the Saints defense, who did fine because I wasn't touching the Chiefs D versus the Rams.
Yeah,
and they did okay. Despite the fact that, they gave up 700 points. They just gave up another touchdown to Gerald Everett.
First down and 10 from the Kansas City 40. He fires, right sideline. Gerald Everett, caught over the shoulder at the 10. Tiptoes the sideline. Touchdown, L.A.
With 1:49 to go, a 40-yard strike from Goff to Everett, and the Rams are back on the high side.
Who said there's no defense, by the way? Huh?
I thought that when he scored with 1:49 left, I was like, there are 2 touchdowns left in this game.
Seriously.
Like that, not even as like a haha, like not a joke. I thought there were 2 more touchdowns being scored.
Well, there weren't two touchdowns left, but there was something else.
From the 49 of L.A., a play fake from Mahomes, a half roll to his right, hit as he throws, wobbly ball, picked, intercepted by Marcus Peters at the 25-yard line against his former team, and redemption for 22 in yellow. Peters picks it with 1:18 to go.
Redemption? Are we redeeming Marcus Peters now because he happened to be standing there on a horribly underthrown pass?
Yes, redemption for Marcus Peters.
There were 4 guys around him, and he just happened to underthrow it, so it went to Peters.
Leave Mark Peters alone. I called him Mark on purpose. Don't worry. Here's Lamarck Joyner.
He's got the snap. Rams bring forward. He's well protected. Nowhere to go with the football. He escapes pressure to his right. Now launches from the 20. Downfield. Intercepted again at the 28-yard line. LaMarcus Joyner on a night that L.A. will never forget.
What a game. What a game. Don't get mad that I called him Mark. Kyle's mad.
Just that's what I get just horribly offended by.
Crazy mad. Marcus and LaMarcus. Couple of picks. It was an amazing game. It was so fun, except for Trent Dilfer. He didn't like the game. Trent Dilfer did not
find his tweet.
Trent Dilfer did not like the game at all. You gotta have an amazing take if you're in sports media. And old Trent Dilfer still throwing up wounded ducks years after he's retired. With all the there's not enough everything defense. I mean, I guess if you like that back and forth stuff.
Amazing fandom experience. Really cool game to watch. However, overall, it was bad ball. Reckless and balls to the wall doesn't mean good football. Sean Payton was happiest man in the world watching this.
Mm-hmm. Because Sean Payton, the idea there is that he has a defense. Well, here's some numbers for you before we unpack that piping hot Cheetos take. The highest scoring game in NFL history was not last night. It was Redskins 72, Giants 41 in 1966, 113 points. 3 other games in NFL history have had more than 100 total points. The Chiefs and the 1966 Giants, as mentioned, the only teams to lose multiple games in a season when scoring 40-plus points. And the Chiefs are averaging more points per game in losses at 45.5 than they are in wins at 34.8. Wow. They became the first team in NFL history to score 50 points and lose. Coming into Monday, NFL teams to score 50-plus were 216 and 0. I loved it. I abso-freaking-lutely loved that game. We'll take a break. When we come back, Sam Amick's going to join us at 8:35, but we'll talk about his article and the Kings' win last night. That's coming up in 2 minutes. Don't go away. It's Sports 1140 KHTK.